behind the arc there. Big gap in the D.
Spurs leading by 4.
And the Spurs last season became the first franchise to hire a female assistant coach. A big step, not just for the Spurs, but really for all of the NBA.
Now here's Leonard. Rebound by Marshall.
Well, he gets it in close, but you have to credit that stifling defense for forcing the miss.
Exactly, Greg. I mean, defense like that really increases the degree of difficulty on that shot by a large amount.
Well, as Greg was just talking about, the assistant that was hired was Becky Hammond, a phenomenal player for a very long time in the WNBA. And Clark, you know, you and I were talking about this before. She was a perfect candidate to become the first full-time female assistant.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it might not seem like that big a deal to some, but this was a big-time barrier breaker that the Spurs pulled off.
And some people harp on his lack of height, but his size doesn't hurt him at all when it comes to rebounding. Really strong rebounding on the interior, and he gets the easy putback.
Can't be any surprise to you that Tim Duncan, folks, last year became the leading rebounder of all active players, passed up Kevin Garnett for that honorable distinction. We're talking 15,000 rebounds total over 18 seasons.
Here's what Philadelphia's going with right now. Robert Covington's checked in for Stauskas, and it's Cannon in for Kendall Marshall. Here's Noel, and he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
What a play there. The hoop plus the harm.
Yeah, great concentration there, Greg. Hung in there. He didn't let that contact throw him off at all. Stayed focused on the rim, knew he was going to get hit, and still was able to finish.
Well, getting back to Duncan's rebounding, he's always had the great size and wingspan and timing, and he really positions himself well for those rebounds. But what seems to separate him is his quiet toughness. He'll never back down.
Yeah, it's hard. You know, he's not a guy that's going to yell or pump his fist. He's not going to flex his muscles to the crowd. He just silently assassinates you
well said.
out on the floor.
You're right. You're so right. Now here's Iverson after the miss from Tim Duncan. Ring shot on the way. Green with the block.
He's given them little to nothing at the offensive end. I can't put it any other way.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
It's tipped. Anderson against Iverson. Duncan outside. He feeds it to Anderson. To the wing right side. Aldridge kicks to Anderson. And a great assist by Aldridge as that one goes in. And now an 8-point San Antonio lead. The 76ers have gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. Aldridge against Noel. Covington passes to Iverson. Dishes it to Covington. Okafor inside. Duncan is there. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
And guys, this 76ers team still trying to forge an identity. One thing that is sure, they will attack the basket, and a lot of fearless players on this roster.
Well, the 76ers do go at the basket without hesitation. They're fearless, Clark, going inside. Led the NBA last season on points off drive.
Well, you know, I like to say you've got to use what you have. They didn't have many shooters, so that means head down, get to the rim.
Now, here's Green. For 3, Bonner. No luck. The 76ers trail by 6. Landry dishes to Cannon. Here's Roten. And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession. And let's look now at the group of young players that have been locked in from the charity stripe. Your leading rookie free throw shooters of the past month. 5th best, Jahlil Okafor.
He has been locked in at the line, taking complete advantage whenever he's got an opportunity to put points on the board.
Really knows how to get to the stripe. He converts at a high level there, a high rate, excellent concentration. He's got a really smooth, repetitive stroke. He's got it rolling.
Here's Covington. Last time out, he had 14 points. Outside Landry. Here's Cannon. And it's off the back rim. No good. Spurs leading by 6. And Anderson kicks to Leonard. Here is Bonner. 10 points for him. The 3 from Anderson. Landry grabs the miss. Philadelphia's gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far. And here's Covington from the arc. And Bonner pulls it down. Bonner's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Leonard on the wing. Anderson kicks to Bonner. Breaks a big height bounce and goes in. Bonner's got the lead up to 8 now for San Antonio. And here is Here's Okafor, 11 feet out, and he hits it. Okafor's got 8 points. San Antonio's gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight, 5 of 12. Outside, Green. He dishes it to Leonard. And Kyle Anderson gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game.
You know, it's really hard not to notice the difference in the passing of these two teams today.
It's a stark discrepancy when you look at the assist columns and you see that difference as far as the fluidity in their respective offenses.
They've done their part here to run down a lot of missed shots. A solid rebounding effort.
Yeah, energy has been the difference, and they're fighting for every loose ball and giving as good as they get on the inside.
Jeremy Grant, he's checked in for Carl Landry. And San Antonio also making a switch. Diaw's checked in. Now here's Parker. They lead by their biggest margin of the game, 9. Ginobili kicks to Diaw. Parker right side. 5 on the clock. From outside the arc. And Matt Bonner with the 3. Bonner's got 5 points in the quarter.
These defenders had better start closing out on those shooters.
That's 2 in a row, and we call that a streak.
Boozer a screen on Parker. At the elbow, Boozer. Here's Grant. Got a piece of it. And a fast break now for the Spurs. Parker leading the charge. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Fellas, you look at Boris Diaw and say, my goodness, if he could just get in better shape. But he uses every bit of that significant backside of his to his advantage. Opponents can't get through him or around him, so he's making good use of the extra LBs.
Getting back to Diaw, he has a sneaky quick first step. You think he won't or can't blow by you, then suddenly, and you know this, Greg, you're stuck to his hip as he's taking it to the rack for a and 1.
You know, he's a bit like Foreman, and I'm not talking about his body type.
Or the drill.
Yeah, you know, Diaw plays with you a little bit, puts that body on you, lulls you to sleep, then wham, shows you up in the worst way.
For Philadelphia, they have made 7 out of 9 when they've stepped to the line. And he makes the first.
Well, clearly the 76ers were the youngest team in the league last season, and with all the draft picks they've stockpiled, they'll be the youngest team for a while, it seems. But if the youth can grow and develop, they could also be a force in a few years, too.
Now here's Parker. Looking for his first basket still in this one. And it's good. Fought through contact. It's the shot. He'll go to the free throw line. To give you an idea of how young this 76er team is, at one point last season, Greg, Tim Duncan had more seasons played in the NBA than the entire active roster of the 76ers.
That's hard to fathom. I mean, we all know there's this youth movement going on in Philadelphia, but they still need some veterans in that locker room. Very hard for the young players to lead. No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
And how good a playmaker has Tony Parker been? One of the best in recent history. The all-time leader in assists for the Spurs over his 14 years there. Just a crafty guy with the ball in his hand.
The 76ers trail by 16. To the paint. Got a hand on it.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And really a reflection of their superior effort level to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more.
And continuing our talk of Tony Parker, the first year he laced up his sneakers, he increased the tempo for that entire Spurs offense, and it continues to this day.
Yeah, and the increase in floor spacing and tempo, a big reason the Admiral, Tim Duncan, and Parker won the championship together in 2003, and obviously Duncan and Parker have won a few more rings since then.
To the inside, Parker with the steal. And the Spurs pushing it up now. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
Clearly a foul. I mean, didn't give him any choice but to blow the whistle. I mean, you got to play without fouling.
And you really got to admire Boris Diaw. I mean, he's found a way to kind of reform his game as he's gotten older. I mean, so different than when he was new to the league.
Diaw lost his athleticism and is a slower player than before. You could argue he's more productive now, though, Clark, than ever.
Well, his game was always on the ground in my mind. He's highly skilled. He's much more cerebral on the floor than given credit. I mean, I think he is really a difficult matchup because he's crafty, he's tough, and he's experienced and skilled.
The Spurs making a switch here. Leonard's checked in. Back to Parker. Diaw sets the pick for Parker. And Boozer with the block. Down low and out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. A terrible turnover.
Spurs leading by 17. Diaw, the screen. And it's good on the assist by Parker. Diaw's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Parker outside. Nobody near Leonard, but they get it back. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Parker kicks to Leonard. Diaw, the screen. Leonard attacking. The shot by Ginobili drills the leaner. Ginobili's got 5 points so far. Now Marshall. Outside Boozer to stop the drought. The shot will not go.
Yeah, the offense seems completely in disarray.
Exactly. But at the other end, it's one bucket after the other. This run is getting out of hand right now.
And so a pretty lopsided game through the first half. Spurs lead by 21. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
I'm here with Coach Greg Popovich. And Pop, you held them to much less productivity in the second quarter. What was the difference defensively for you?
Well, I think we limited the offensive boards a little bit. I think we took better shots. I don't think they got the same fast breaks. And honestly, they missed some pretty wide open shots.
Coach, thanks for the time. Gentlemen?
Thank you, Doris. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith as we start breaking it down for you. A pretty close game for the Spurs throughout the first quarter. They never got too far behind as their largest deficit in the period was 8. They just exploded in the second quarter, grabbing the momentum and running with it. Basket after basket, and they played stingy defense. Now they've got a halftime lead that's going to be very difficult to erase. Kenny, what was your take on San Antonio?
What a brilliant, unselfish half of basketball they just played. Their ball movement was absolutely impeccable. All in all, just beautiful basketball to watch.
Shaq, what'd you think about Philadelphia?
Barbecue chicken. They were completely overmatched in the low post. I couldn't believe the amount of points they allowed in the paint. Wow, I thought I was out there scoring, playing basketball. They got to switch things up, get some different matchup because they are getting eaten alive. Barbecue chicken.
And that'll do it for now as the